Well, there's nothing like driving an early Mustang convertible on a beautiful sunny day other than the steering and the brakes. And if you've ever driven one of these, you'll know exactly what I mean. So what do you do today? The cars look great, they run great, they do everything great, but they don't drive real nice. So what Steeroids did is they came up with a rack and pinion system that bolts right in, that replaces that old worn out steering box. Well, Speed Direct was kind enough to supply us with the Steeroids conversion kit, and it's a pretty simple kit to install. You'd start by removing the steering wheel. The steering column comes out fairly simple. It's 2 bolts that hold a bracket and then it slides out over the steering shaft. Then we'll start removing all the steering components. We'll start with the center link, the idler arm, and all the tie rod ends. That'll come down as one unit. The next thing we'll do is remove the steering box itself. Using an impact here to get rid of the rusty bolts is a good idea. If you haven't got that, you're going to use a lot of muscle. Steering box comes down with the steering shaft, and that whole unit will be totally discarded. Now we'll start putting together the rack. We'll start with the main bracket that the tie rod ends are going to bolt to. The end brackets clamp into place, and we'll pick up the original position of the idler arm and the original power steering ram. That gets bolted to the chassis. There's no welding required here. This entire installation is a bolt-in deal. The nice part about the Steeroids conversion kit is all the hardware is there. All grade 8 hardware, all first-class stuff that isn't going to break. Once the ram is in place now, we're going to start with the tie rod ends. The nice thing about the tie rod ends is they actually have different washers on the end of it, so we can adjust the bump. All the tie rod ends are actually also Heim joints, which make for a nice, precise steering feel. Same components that you would use on a race car. Everything is totally adjustable here, so it's nice and easy. Again, like a race car, the Heim joints screw in and out, and it makes for a slick installation. Once the tie rods are all in place, we're ready to tighten everything down. There's no point doing any of this until everything has been set up. Now we're ready to put in the column. It comes with a universal joint that fits onto the end of the rack and fits close to the firewall. The eidetic column actually comes with the center portion of it, which fits inside the original steering column. Makes for a nice original look with the reliability of new pieces. Once that's all in place, we're ready to remount the steering wheel, bolt it down, put the horn ring in place, and now we're ready to go cruising.
Vintage Dream Car is up next. It's the '65 Chevelle L79.